I'm Rick Drummond, County Manager. It is an absolute pleasure to be here this morning and welcome you here to this auspicious occasion. And without further ado, we'll begin, and I'd like to call Mr. Ray Davis up here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And with that, gentlemen, present the colors. Please rise.
Forward, hope. Hurl it, hurl it, right, left, hut, hut, hip, fall, hut, 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 hip, fall, hut, 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 fall, hut, 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 fall, hut, 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 fall, hut, 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 fall, hut, hut. Guard, halt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Ray. It was beautiful. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the chairwoman of the County Commission, Ms. Paula Delaney.
Well, good morning. It's really an honor to be here, and it's really nice that it's not 110 degrees or raining. So thank you to whoever's responsible for that. And it is really an honor on behalf of all Alachua County citizens, as well as the Board of County Commissioners, to be here participating in this wonderful, wonderful ceremony this morning, this wonderful occasion. We're here today celebrating over a quarter of a century of vision and leadership. And as someone who served in office off and on for 20 years, and this precedes me, and I'm going to go over the timeline in a minute, I've always tried to have a lot of respect for the vision and projects of people who went before me. And so certainly, although I was not here at the beginning of the discussion on this, it's certainly an honor to be here participating at the end as we finally are opening a building here at Kanapaha Park. And not just any building, but our Freedom Community Center. So we gather here to celebrate the vision and leadership of Alachua County and the city of Gainesville, and most importantly, the veterans' leadership here in our community. We owe a debt of gratitude to those who fought and served and sacrificed for our freedom, but also to those who have worked so hard to make sure that we honor them with our memorials around the community. And this, of course, is our wonderful new facility that will provide badly needed public space for the Tower Road community, and more importantly, for our veterans. So it's certainly an honor to be here. And I want to go over the timeline that was provided and remind everybody. If you go back to May of 1985, Alachua County and the city of Gainesville prepared a recreation plan for the Kanapaha Park, Lake Kanapaha area. You fast forward to June of 1991, and at a citizen's request, Alachua County and the city of Gainesville ended up swapping ownership of the county's North Side Park and the city's property that eventually became Kanapaha Park. In July, the next month, the county approved the site plan for Kanapaha Park that included a community center. So that was way back in 1991. In August of 91, the initial site plan development began with the city and the county of Gainesville funding, and the Kanapaha Park development continues with funding assistance from citizen donations, state grants, and of course, county funding when we can find it. In August, if you fast forward now, many, many years, to August of 2008, and I'll remind you that the county and the city and all of the entities working together did on numerous occasions attempt to pass a sales tax. To do some of this a little sooner, we have not been successful until August of 2008. The Board of County Commissioners approved the community center as one of the Wild Spaces Public Places sales tax projects, and of course in November of 2008, that was approved by the voters with 51%, 51.5%. So thank you to the voters for approving the funding that gets us here today. In May 2010, the Board of County Commissioners approved the construction management agreement with M.M. Parish Construction Company. In June of 2010, the Board of County Commissioners approved the professional services agreement with Skinner Vignola McLean for design and architectural services. And in September 2011, just what seems like yesterday, the Board of County Commissioners approve the guaranteed maximum price agreement with M Parish Construction Company for construction of the community center at $1.2 million. So that is certainly something to celebrate here. And I also, before I step down, want to reflect on, I was really thinking about the people who are out and about in our community and still serving, that were involved certainly at the local government level back at the time this community discussion was going on. And the list that I came up with, and I'm sure it's not entirely inclusive, but did include Rodney Long, Cynthia Chestnut, Levita Brown, Tom Coward, Kate Barnes, Cortland Collier, Penny Wheat, and David Coffey, just to name a few. If you're out and about and run into those folks who are still with us, I hope you'll thank them for their leadership on this. And this is, of course, another good example of what partnerships and collaboration mean to a community. And I'll just reflect one last time that building a community really is like watching your children grow. The changes are constant and gradual, but here we are. We've finally gone from a birth to what, maybe an adolescent or something. So thanks again to everyone who started this discussion so long ago, over a quarter century, and I am personally proud to see another recreation facility come online for all of our citizens. Thank you very much.
It's amazing how quickly some things can happen if you really push for it. And speaking of which, Charlie Jackson, our county facilities manager.
Good morning. County Manager Rick Drummond, commissioners, other elected officials, including Alachua County Sheriff Sadie Donnell, and tax collector Savon Frazier, and other elected officials who are in the audience. It is indeed a pleasure to present to you today an additional building to our inventory. It's completed on time and within budget. Let me tell you a couple things about this particular building that I'll generally do at our ribbon cutting and groundbreaking ceremonies. Is that one, we have invested the taxpayers' money very, very well. This is a little over 5,000 square foot building. We've got several porches, as you can see, on the facility. You get a chance to walk through the facility and visit with it. It is an energy efficient facility as well. We've got water fixtures here that are going to reduce the consumption of water here. Landscaping. We've got additional very efficient air conditioner system that's going to reduce and cut costs. 3 flexible meeting areas that the citizen will be able to use. Indoor restroom, outdoor restrooms, something that we haven't had here in a while. Other things I want to talk about is the fact that we've got an insulated concrete foreman here that was able to allow us to build this building. And of course, the county manager talked about how fast, and Commissioner Delaney, how fast this is actually done. It's because we utilize a technique in the construction industry called insulated forming. It allows us to cut down on labor costs and expedite the actual construction of the building. An additional feature here that you'll see was additional lighting brought in for the soccer fields. And one unique thing here is that we have a monument here that many counties and states will not have that opportunity to. But we have a Congressional Medal of Honor winner here in our county, and it is displayed here. I believe it's Dewey, right? Dewey, right. And in closing, because I want to be a little short here today, I want to have special thanks to some people who have made this project a very, very successful project. That is Mr. Al Waters. I think Al is in the back, the project coordinator. He's back there. Some of you would give him a hand. Also, I'd like to identify and recognize those smart engineers who was involved with the design. Howard McLean with Skinner, Vignoli. McLean in the back. M. Paris, Mike Ross, Ed, who actually did the construction, served as a construction management firm. Would you please give them a round? The Alachua County Veterans Advisory Board, who comprise of a host of veterans in different capacities throughout our county. If we would, let's give them a round. And then last but not least, I'd like to recognize the men and women of the Administrative Services Department, Facilities Management Division, the folks who will now pass the baton over to the maintenance and repair staff. Let's give those folks a round. And again, thank you all very much. And to the manager, we appreciate you giving us the autonomy and the responsibility to bring forth another project completed on time and within budget. Woo!
love to hear those words. Was there any left? No. I noticed that the people who are responsible for actually bringing this out of the ground, the physical, are all hiding in the back. So they're all really shy, but they've done a wonderful job, and thank you again for the work that you put into this. And now I'll introduce the person who will take over from here. Charlie has passed the baton to our County Park Superintendent, Rob Avery. He's doing other duty at the time. I'll take over.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here. I want to extend a thanks first to, again, the construction and the architectural staff, and Bernice Legree. He's our contracts and project coordinator for the Parks Department, and he helped me keep an eye on what was going on out here and looking at the details, and he always is a big help. I also want to back up just a little bit in the history and introduce Allison Law. Back when the citizens took over or did the initiation to swap the property, she became very involved in the area and then started running, carrying on donation events, getting donation for the park project, and also then established, went to the county with those donations, got the county to match it, and then the county used that to match state grants. And we did that, what, 3 times, 4 times?
I think we had something like a 13-to-1 ratio of county dollars.
Right, it was a great ratio, which got the rest of this park done, as you see it, along with, and of course the kickoff was the Veterans Memorial. Once we had it all graded out, then they came in and did the memorial. That created interest. That created interest and synergy within the community here. And without that public-private citizen grassroots efforts, we probably wouldn't have this park here today. And that's the kind of, I've used this park and the way those donations were done as a example for other communities that wanted parks to be built. And it's somewhat what's happened out at our Jonesville Park too. That's a public-private cooperative effort out there. The Cynthia Moore Chestnut Park was likewise a public-private cooperative effort out in that area. So it really works when the citizens get involved and say they want something done, and then the commission responds and we work together to make that happen. And so what we have here today, the community center, as the manager said, has been now passed on to me to manage and take care of. And it's the first in the county, for the county side, to run a community center. So we are going to make it as available and as easy to the public to use that facility. Just have to call the Public Works office and we'll make arrangements and have it set up. We're going to set up a calendar, get it on the county website so people can see what's available, when it's available, and then we'll just make a rental arrangement for those who want to use it. But I look forward to operating this facility and for our staff to help maintain it and for the public to really enjoy the use of this activity. So appreciate you all being here and appreciate having this facility to work with to extend the recreational activities in the Alachua County area.
Thank you, Rob, and Allison, thank you. Thank you. And I know that you're not the only one, but you've been out in front all the way, and you and your partners have been essential in making this work, and so many things work in this area. So I thank you. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to introduce Don Sherry. Come up here and speak a few words. You all know him. He's been here. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, sir. Few words. That's what Jim, where's Jim? He said, remember, a few words. I am a man of few words. This is a great day today. I was looking at that beautiful building, and it is quite impressive. The veterans would like to thank the Board of County Commissioners and their staff for all their hard work to build us this new Freedom Community Center. It is truly a building for all the residents of the Southwest area, and we're sure they can use it for years to come. We're proud to have been involved with this project from its very start, to the concept, the design, the construction, the layout, and even the naming of the building, Freedom Community Center. Now it is time for us to help it become a commercial success as we go forward, and we intend to be there to work to help rent the structure to all the groups in the area. We'd like to see it in use both day and night. We appreciate you folks putting a secure storage room for us to keep the flags and supplies for for the park. This stuff has been stored literally all over the county. Every storage area that you had a few feet, we found someplace. Jim Lynch, I didn't know there were so many places to get a hold of it. It's even been in my garage. And a little secret, the last time we lost them. And we couldn't find them, and after Major Stroop, being an old sergeant major, he'd call me up and say, "Sherry, check your house again, man, I know it's over there." And so the last time I had my wife check it, and I said, "It ain't here. That's it." So lo and behold, the sergeant major found them, but it worked out all right. But that shows you that, that we need that building. We need that storage room. We also appreciate you putting the new electric hookup out to the memorial. This has been a problem, especially on Veterans Day. We've had to run hundreds of feet of extension cords from everybody's garage to get electricity out there. But you know, you do what you got to do, you know, to make it work. Bob Gachet said to be sure and tell you that we believe that we have one of the most active veterans communities anywhere in the nation. There, I got it in, Bob. Where is it? I got it in. We also can see many uses for this building. Veterans Day, Pearl Harbor Day, Medal of Honor Day, 9/11, and all the other holidays. We have several smaller veterans organizations, approximately 8 of them. They don't have a post, and they plan to meet here. The Service Advisory Board and the Memorial Park Committee can both meet here. And for special events, we talked about setting up displays of military memorabilia, you know, for the kids to come and look at, and the adults. The possibilities for this building for the veterans are endless. We're also delighted to see the new Medal of Honor monument to honor Alachua County resident Dwayne Dewey, Corporal, United States Marine Corps, where's Lester? Who received our nation's highest honor in career in April of '52. We also thank Eddie Van Buren. Eddie couldn't be here. Did Eddie make it? No, he's traveling. But he designed that memorial. So, and also the guy that headed up the project to pay for it, to raise the money, and to get it built and erected was Jim Lynch. But then he's always around doing something. So, thanks to the Korean War veterans for providing the color guard. Those guys have voluntarily cleaned the park up for the last 10 years. They've had 10 to 12 men. Thank you. Where are they? They've had 10 to 12 men on a duty roster, and they come here twice a week, and they look out for vandalism and so on and so forth. And speaking of vandalism, the people that have kept the park safe all these years is Sadie Donnell. Stand up, please, ma'am. We're delighted you're here. And I don't want to forget Captain Blizzard, Bella Blizzard. They have been right here for us, and have certainly saved the county a lot of money. One last thanks again, the veterans. Don't forget Allison Law. She built this building. She probably more than anybody else did it. So thank you, Allison. I hope that was short and sweet. Thank you all for coming. And don't forget, freedom is not free.
Thank you, Don. And that completes the proceedings. We're going to Sexton is going to stage the ribbon cutting by the front entrance. Last words, this really shows what partnership is all about. Community, the government, private partners, and without the veterans, we wouldn't be here. Thank you.